Hello, folks. We're here at the Plush Pocket with world champion pool player, Mike Massey. I know a lot of you folks out there would know his name and certainly know who he is. So, Mr. Massey, what are you doing here in town right now, Mike?
Well, I'm here with John English, Good Times. He owns the whole state of California for automated entertainment, company, but for the pool leagues. I'm helping him with the pool leagues and stuff. And we were just in Vegas a couple of weeks and stuff, so I thought to come over to see you and sing at your podcast there Sunday.
Yeah, Mike's a country singer and guitar player, and he writes great country songs. And we're going to get off pool for just a second. We cut an album together 23 years ago, about 2000, wasn't it, back then? And we had a lot of fun. We had some great players on it. But and he's actually in town to do my show. It's a little show called Carmine's Country Corner. You can see it on Facebook. And Mike's going to be our guest artist this week. But now, back to the pool. I want you to tell me maybe a few things I don't know about your background. Where you're from?
I was inducted in Hall of Fame in 2005.
Yeah, I remember that.
I've been to every continent except Antarctica. I've been to over 40 countries doing shows and teaching and tournaments and playing. And I'm still traveling. I just got back from Europe and Morocco. Doing the gospel trick shot. So we have a gospel.
I remember when you started that. Yes, that's quite a few years ago. Gospeltrickshots.org. And we go all over the world using a pool table to preach the gospel. That is fabulous. And you also, now when I was running with you, I always knew who Mike Massey was, but it wasn't until 2000 that when my brother Lewis invented that tight rack, Lewis and I started traveling with all the pros, all the women, all the men, and even though I knew who you were, that's when we became
Sardo
buddies. So we cut the album.
I endorsed that.
You've been to our family parties, and you're like one of our very good friends.
But anyway, as far as titles, I've won like 17 world championships. You might say the world champ, 8 times ESPN Trick Shot Magic.
I was there on all of those for you.
Yeah, and I won 3 World Snooker Trick Shot Championships, or in England and Scotland. And I won in Ukraine the World Championships of Legends.
Ukraine?
Yeah, Ukraine.
Boy,
I've been to Ukraine 3 or 4 times. In Russia, I won the World Championships in Ukraine. I won the World Championships in Germany. I won a National 9-Ball Championship. So a lot of people know me for trick shots, but I won quite a few titles in 9-ball and 8-ball, and I was a senior. Steve Mizrek's first,
when
the
Steve
senior
had the
tour,
senior,
won the first one of those
senior tour.
So I've won quite a few 8-ball, 9-ball tournaments, but I'm mostly known for the trick shots. And I've done 5 movies. My favorite movie was the movie I did with Johnny Cash called The Baron and the Kid. You can find it on YouTube.
And that was for TV.
That movie was made for TV. I taught Johnny how to play pool for the movie. And the movie was based a little bit on my life. I helped write the movie because it was about a retired professional player and his trying to get his son to go the professional route rather than the hustling route. He finds out
how'd that work out?
Well, it worked out good. The movie's a good movie. If people heard the song, it's called The Baron and the Kid, and it's based on the song. And Johnny, this kid comes in to hustling, and he plays in, and Johnny beats him, and he throws a ring out on the table and said, I put this ring up against that fancy cue stick. Johnny picks up the ring and realizes it's his wedding ring that he gave his wife 20 years before. This is a son he didn't know he had. So it's a great movie.
Oh, wow. How cool. Yeah. Wow.
And did a movie.
Well, now what did they used to call you years ago when you were younger and kind of crazy?
What do you mean years ago? They still call me that.
Well, what do they call it? Tarzan something? What do they call it?
Tennessee Tarzan.
Tennessee Tarzan.
I had a bunch of nicknames, but I like that one better.
And you also used to make little bets with arm wrestling and push-ups. So what was that about?
When I was 60 years old, I bench pressed like 420, so I'm still got the upper body strength.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight.
Check this out for an old man, 76. Tell it. That's hard.
That's as high as a baseball.
But arm wrestling, I beat a guy a few years ago, like 40-something years. He couldn't believe it. Here I'm 70-something years old and beat him. But I've always had now I used to be a brick mason, block mason, so I got upper body strength.
I'd heard about that.
And
but you used to bet people.
I used to bet I could do
one arm wrestling.
More one-arm push-ups than anyone could do with two arms. I never lost. Yeah.
Well, you haven't tried me yet.
I hadn't tried you yet. But they were a special push-up. You had to put your arms straight up in front of you. They had to do it this way, and I did it this way, yeah.
My push-ups look like this. I go down. It's like half a down, not even an up. It just goes down.
Yeah,
but anyway,
yeah.
Hey, let's say hi to Howard. He's the one who put this whole thing together.
Yeah,
my good friend Howard. Now, Howard plays one pocket.
Yeah, oh, he does?
And he and I play, and we kind of go back and forth. Lately, for me, it's been going back for me and forth for him. And
Just let me win, that's all.
He's been kicking my butt.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm going to get him this week here. We're going to play again. I'm going to figure it out.
Talk about some of the people that you shot.
That I what?
Some of the people that you shot, the famous people.
Well, I've played
everybody.
I played everybody. I played Earl Strickland. I traveled all over the world doing shows together. I played Earl quite a few times. Had a pretty good record with Earl. Had a good record with Steve Mizrak. Buddy Hall was always hard to beat. I beat him a few. Siegel was always tough to beat. Alan Hopkins, Jim Rempe. All the players that was,
great players.
Yeah, these, I did, I won the national 9-ball championships in '82. Earl came in third in that one, and it was a strong field. But
and you just beat. Did you say you played a bar tournament just recently? And
well, no, it was a few years ago. I beat Shane Van Boyne on a bar table, but I don't claim to be as good as Shane.
Shane's a great player.
He might be the greatest American player ever. I mean, he
can play.
Yeah, he can play. But I beat Johnny Archer a year and a half so ago. Rodney Morris.
I've known you for a long time, and I was on the road with you for 6 years doing the tight rack, and I saw you play all those guys one time.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this about your game. Not one of those guys has to beat you on any given day. I mean, you got the game where you can beat these guys.
Yeah, but I don't have near the record as wins.
Well, they got maybe a
Efren. I played
consistency
Efren twice, one pocket once, and 9-ball. Of course, he beat me both times. Efren. In most people's opinions, might be the greatest player of all.
Yeah, they say all around he might be the guy.
Yeah, and now there's so many great players right now, and I feel like I'm part of it because when I started going to Europe, you couldn't even find a pool table except maybe a bowling alley or something, So I started going over there, but now they have probably 10 Moscone Cup teams. Poland, they have thousands of kids playing in school there. I broke the world record for the most. I established a world record for the most racks run of 9-ball in Austria, and it was playing the Ghost in 24 hours. It was a marathon thing I did, and I had 330 breaking runs playing the Ghost, no combination on the 9, no 9-balls on break. And the reason I'm saying this is because they said that helped Austria look at pool, see it as a sport. Because before they only added money, they gave money to billiards, about 90% and 10% to pool. But after that, they said that they started splitting it up.
Taking another look at pool.
So,
about 2002, 2003, around there, they had the Moscone Cup, some big tournament in Poland because I was there. I think you might have been there with us.
I played in the Moscone Cup. We won in 1996. I won a crucial match against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Now Ronnie O'Sullivan, Ronnie was young at then. He didn't even know the rules of pool that much. And I'd spent 3 weeks with Ronnie in Switzerland, traveling all over Switzerland, promoting pool and snooker with Allison Fisher and Eva.
Allison.
We traveled around promoting the game.
We traveled for 6 years with the girls too.
Yeah, Ronnie was only 17 then, but Ronnie is considered the greatest ever snooker player right now.
He shoots so fast.
Yeah.
I can't believe on a snooker table anybody can shoot that fast and make that many balls. It's amazing.
Yeah, he might win the World Championships this year. He's ranked number 1. He's 47 years old, but he's a great player. But there's so many great players right now worldwide, especially at American pool. American pool is the biggest. Now I just got back from England and Ireland, and I was in Morocco playing English 8-ball. Now, or black ball, they call it black ball.
Yeah.
It's huge over there in England and Africa. I mean, it's very big. It's it's very, very popular over there.
Well, the world of pool has certainly opened up in the last 20 years for sure. Because since we did the rack thing, all these young guys, all these guys were coming over and they're playing so good.
Yeah, well,
and now you got these 21-year-old
anymore.
kids. You got a whole bunch of 21-year-old.
Federer, of course, won it when he was 19, won the World Championships. There's a Taiwanese player won it when he was 17, won the 8-ball and 9-ball.
You believe that? That's unbelievable.
But there's young, you can become a really good pool player in 2 years if you're dedicated, because there's so much information out there now, videos, books, and everything, you know. And so
the equipment has gotten, not that it's easier, but it's
well, it is easier. It's with the cloth. When I was playing you go back in the 60s and 70s, you had to have a really good stroke.
The Stevens cloth is what they used.
It was slower. They were slower. But nowadays, Simonis and the cloth they have now, Andy cloth, Simonis and everything, which is a good cloth, but you don't need much of a stroke.
If you're smooth, you can get the cue ball to react. You can draw it a mile.
Yeah.
With the old mud balls, now I'm going way back to the 50s. I would watch the straight pool players play, and they were clay balls.
The clay balls.
The clay balls. And when they would want to go into the stack to break them up with a lot of fall, you'd see that cue ball look like a Mack truck. It'd go. It would keep spinning, and they'd be breaking the cue.
They did 2 or 3 breaks. They'd break out a few. They'd run those and break it A balls and B balls and C balls. And
but
that's
that cue ball
what Moscone and those guys were playing.
They had great strokes.
But now, straight pool, I like straight. I ran 200 something a couple of times in straight pool.
You had many 100-ball runs, right?
Oh yeah, I ran 183 3 times. One money match one time ran 163 and out on Richie Ambrose. And that
Richie was a good player too, wasn't he? Another good player.
But,
anyway, so we're going to play. You and I have a rematch coming up. We won't talk about the whole thing that happened, but I know
he beat me.
Don't tell him what the spot was. You'll ruin my reputation. Shut up, Howard.
How were we playing our Carmine? How was that? Let's see.
I'm going to tell him. I have to tell him. Not that they care. He was giving me 12-4, which means in one pocket. Those of you who might not know is, I only have to make 4 balls. He's got to make 12, and it went hill. We were playing a race to 4, and it went 3-3, and then I think I got him by 1 ball. But I only had, in 3 games, I only had to make 16 balls. 4 games, 16 balls. He had to make 100 or something. Whatever it was.
Then we're having a rematch.
That's great fun. Are we done?
Tell them where you are.
I'm Carmine Sardo here at the Plush Pocket. We're going to go out and have some fun right now. And this is my very good friend and champion.
Can I recite one of my songs as a poem? Okay, now y'all watching out there, now if you've been on TV, I don't care what you've done, if you've done movies and stuff, everyone wants your autograph. So Larry King and I wrote a song, and it's called Sharpie and the Cue, because everybody wants me to sign a cue ball or a cue stick, a case, which is, I appreciate that. So I'm going to recite this to you. This goes, people, they call me a legend. They put me in the Billiards Hall of Fame. My picture's hanging on the wall with the greatest to play the game. Seems like people stop and want to talk to me all the time, Carmine, with a Sharpie and a cue they want me to sign. Now, if Jesus was here today, what would he do if someone handed him a Sharpie and asked him to sign his cue? When Jesus healed the blind man in Jerusalem that day, did they ask him for his autograph before he walked away? When Jesus healed a cripple that was crying out in pain, did they hand Jesus a Sharpie and ask him to sign his name? I walk through this world with a cue stick in my hand, talking about my Savior that died but rose again. The greatest satisfaction is not from the autographs that I sign, it's when I put Jesus loves us always in front of mine. Yeah. Jesus turned the water into wine. He took the darkness from the blind. And if no one asked him for an autograph, why did they ask me for mine? I love you.
That's great. That's very good, Mike. Did you write that?
Larry King and I wrote
that. That is fabulous.
Larry King.
Larry King?
Yeah, not the Larry. Yeah, Larry King, songwriter in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'll be
you,
singing.
Howard.
I'll be singing that at the podcast there.
You gonna do that
Oh
Sunday
yeah.
for us?
Well, we got great music.
Well, let's go.
Great guitar player right here. Great